Hello, welcome to Floyd Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got something a little bit special, a little bit odd. Okay, so what we got down here is the Ford Cosworth RS Escort. Now this was originally released by Tamiya. And to be honest, it's a really, really good kit. And Tamiya normally don't sort of discontinue kits. It's one of the nice things with Tamiya is that they release a kit usually available forever. Okay, it's not like some manufacturers who discontinue them after a couple of years, then they reappear with different decals and things like that later down the line, things like that. The odd thing is, what's happened is that Domino here, which I do believe are a large Belgium company, very much similar to Hanitzer, an importer, distributor, and direct sales as well, has obviously brought them in because they put a sticker over the Tamiya one, which is a little bit odd. And you can probably see down here what they've done. If you look carefully down in here, you can actually see it says Tamiya in amongst it all, which is, as I said, a little bit odd. Anyway, it's a 1/24 scale. It is a golden oldie. Quick run round at the box before we peel our way into this one. You can see some of them there. It is an official licensed product. And again, it's got the importation there by Domino, obviously in Belgium. It's got proper little Ford stickers, official licensed products, you name it, it's got it. But it is shrink wrap, so we just need to bust our way in here and get in. Okay, so in the box itself, we just pop that open, we can see, again, not a million parts to this one, but it has got a few down in here, as we can see. So you've basically got three large screws, the shell, and then obviously just down in here we've got our instructions as always. So we'll whip that out of the way. Okay, these look very nice, I must admit. All right, so down in the instructions, as we can see, that sort of standard Tamiya way of doing it, but it is just on a photocopied bit of paper. Anyway, usual thing, you can see down sort of a basic underside, shall we say, underneath the actual running gear of this one. So we've got a little bit of axle work down there, we've got the gearbox, bottom of the engine, things like that, as you can see down in here. Steering mechanism down at the front, we've got a couple of polycaps as well, so for holding on the tyres, things like that. We've got the steering rack, the exhaust system being put through at its paces, and then obviously working its way through generally the running gear. So we've got the steering, things like that. It's all hidden away quite nicely, as you can see, with a sort of an underpan guard down under there anyway. Tyres and hubs fitted together pretty much standard, as you might imagine, and then pushed on board like that. Decals we'll have a look at the moment, but it's talking about them down in here. So we've actually got decals for the actual sort of writing on here, Michelin, things like that down on there. And then into the inside for the actual chassis itself, we've got down in here obviously the cooling, the gear, the seats, the various bits and pieces, you imagine, fire extinguishers, decals for your seat belts, all the rest of it going down there on the inside. Roll cage being fitted, and then you've got your dashboard being fitted down in there as well. Looks like it is just a left-hand version. Okay, then obviously you've got the side panels all being fitted onto that front and rear. Spare wheel going into the boot. Got a little bit of gauze as well you're going to cut out to make the mesh sections, things like that, for the actual inside behind the chassis. So up here we've actually got the actual main body itself with those internals and a one piece in glass part being put through as well. Got your mud flaps being fitted on those, and then it's just a case of shoehorning it down and in together. Big old headlights on the front, as we'd expect. Okay, those being fitted in there for a rally car, and then the usual plethora of all the lumps, bumps and bits and pieces on the outside. So we've got your glass, your wing mirrors, you know, obviously air scoops, things like that being fitted down onto there. And again, a little bit of stretch screw saying down in here for fitting some of these. I don't know what that's actually for the aerial. Is that to just make the antenna? Okay, seems a little bit cheap, but there we go, that's down in there. The good old-fashioned whale fin spoiler down on the back, and the rear lights completes your build. Okay, decals, which do look really very nice indeed. So down in here, if I can get into this, it's gonna fight me, this one. Okay, so we can get into them. There we go, we're in. Right. So we were saying about the harnesses, so you've got a little bit of paper down here as well, talking about applying the actual tyre decal down onto that one, and then some of the little areas just down on the front, which we can see here. So we've got, obviously, with the seats, the harnesses, things like that being put through. These, we just carefully lift those out of the way. I don't know how well the light's going to show those, but as you can see, we've got some very fine decals down in there for the Michelin tyres being fitted on, and we're going to stick that down back on top to protect those. Okay, and then we've actually got the main decals themselves, which do look really very nice indeed, which is done by Domino's, you can see. So we've got the blue, it's a metallic blue, really very nice indeed. There's a nice sheen to those ones. Then we've got obviously all the other parts as well being fitted down in there. We've got your numbers, more harnesses, details all for the inside, as you might imagine, with those ones for the sort of Monte Carlo rally, things like that, right the way through. Okay, so that's all looking, I have to say, very nice indeed. So, having a look in the body, I do believe should be stapled. If it's Tamiya, it will be stapled. There we go. Okay, so the body itself, you can see, really very, very nice, good, clean, sharp moulding right the way through. Beautifully polished mould as well, so that is actually just ready for a primer and then your gloss coat right on the top of that one, and away you go. Good quality plastic as well, good solid printing on that one. We've got a date in here. Tamiya 1994, there we go, that's the original. Alright, as you can see right the way through, but you can see it is good, typical Tamiya-esque quality right the way through, shouting out on that one, so that's really nice indeed. Okay, white sprues first. So we've got in here the roll cage, we've got the chassis, so let's start down here. On the bottom you can see the chassis looking really nice indeed. We've got the roll cart bars, a little bit of flash just around on these ones, a little bit of flash just on the back of the actual whale fin spoiler as well, so you're going to need a little bit of deburring work just on those. And then we've got the wheel hubs down there at the top, looking very, very nice indeed. And generally looking around it, it's got a little bit of flash here and there, but most of it is actually on the actual sprues, not on the parts, which is a nice touch. But it is an older kit, as we were saying. And generally though, I have to say that's all very nice. Good, sharp, strong plastic on this one. So we've actually got the sprues for the black parts. Okay, so down in here we got actually the side cards for the door cards, things like that. And obviously we've got the gear, dashboard and all the other areas, as you can see down in here. And obviously if we have a closer look round, you can probably see very nice details down on these right the way through. No problem with any of these. Looking really nice. Actually the black sprue looks not as flashy as the white one. The white one had a little bit of flash on it. I can't really see anything on here at all. All the ejector pins are either on the level or they're pretty much just a little bit recessed. So none of them look like they're sitting proud or anything else like that. Very nice indeed. Good call. Okay, let's do clear parts, then we'll do tyres. Okay, so the clear parts we're hoping are uber clear, and it's Tamiya. So as you can see, very, very clear, no problem. No real warpage or distortion with any of these. You can see good, clear glass right the way through. Strange that the underpan, underguard is actually in clear, weirdly. But there we go. So obviously we've got the headlights and everything. You've got the sort of Pharrell lenses down in there as well. Those are looking really nice. Good, clean, sharp injection moulding and all of that. Okay, and then, get rid of that because it's static. We've got the tyres. So we've got a little bit of gauze and some polycaps, as you might expect with those. Alright, and then we've actually got the tyres. We do have a very faint scent seam running just through there. We've got a little bit of flash on the tyres, but usual thing, hitting them with a sanding sponge just to sort of flatten them down, and then polishing them up with literally your fingers just to polish the grease from your fingers. Gives a very nice tired effect. You can probably see it as you just do it there like that. It works a treat. Okay, and those will be good to go. And there we go, real blast from the past. Nice to have this car back, iconic. I grew up, this is my era if you like. I was driving and dreamt of having a car like this, and sadly never ever got one. But there we go, that is the Ford Escort. It's the 1/24th scale by Domino, stroke definitely Tamiya.